Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are checking out 5 new Kizer models, and a lot of these are like really good. Like, they're some of my favorite Kizers that have came out in a while. This is the Kizer BULLDOG, which has been out, and I have raved about this one in the past. Now, this one has a little bit different micarta. We're going to check out another knife here in a second that has a better micarta. I'm not a big fan of this micarta, but I do love Nitro V. This is a sheep's foot blade shape, lots of jimping if you look. Like, it's got lots of traction areas, you know, for different grips. And this handle right here is very comfortable. But I love the Nitro V, beautiful stone-washed finish, you know, relatively slicey. Using the clutch lock, which is my favorite crossbar lock right now, is from Kizer. This one seems like it's a little bit on the lighter setting, so maybe I'll reset it. My other one, I have another one that has a different handle and everything that is just ridiculous. Like, it's so snappy. Deep carry clip that is reversible, TA hardware, and then I'm not sure if this is titanium. Let me just check really quick. I think it is not. Nope, that's a steel backspacer. But really cool knife. This is definitely one that that I do like quite a bit. My one negative on this particular model, I don't think my other one was like this, but the plunge grind drops right down to the edge, which is a little weird to me. I'm surprised that they dropped it down right to the edge. Probably not that big of a deal. You're going to get a lot of life out of it before it really like starts looking ugly or anything like that. And it's not hitting any stop pins or anything back there. So beautiful texturing right there, right before the edge. So you can lock in really well. It's a pretty cool knife. The next one is the one with the micarta I was just talking about. Now, this one, I would prefer that micarta. I love this micarta. I think that this is some of the best micarta out there, especially for the value and the money. They do a really good job. It has a nice soft cloth-like texture. I really like that. Sheep's foot blade. Love the purple accents with the brown. I never realized how much I'd like the purple with the brown. Nitro V steel, and this one is the MADRAC. The MADRAC. MADRAC has, again, the crossbar lock. That's their clutch lock, which is, you know, an adjustable crossbar lock, just like the BULLDOG we just seen, where you can change the settings on it and make it stronger or lighter. And I'm not sure about these models, but their other models make it very easy to get to. You just take these 2 screws out, the scale will pop off, and you can adjust it. And then you don't have to take the whole knife apart. You can get one side at a time, and that is a game changer when tuning a knife or changing omega springs and things like that. They used to be a nightmare. When I first joined the knife community, crossbar locks were like one of the most, at least for most people, was like the most scariest one to deal with, because you were typically going to deal with a lot of issues and it was going to be tough. Like, it was more of an experienced, you know, knife. You'd have to be pretty experienced with taking apart knives to get it right every time. Love the pivot collars, man. Very snappy. Great placement for the thumb studs. Love the thumb studs, period. They have a nice texture around them. Very ergonomic. Not the sliciest, but it's slicey. You know, it's a happy medium area, which is where most people are probably going to want their knives. Not fragile, but also not so thick that it's not going to be a performer. Reversible deep carry clip. Not inset, but it does have flat screws. Lots of milling on the inside of there, as you can see. And, you know, it is very lightweight. Micarta is very light. The liners are all milled out. I'm not sure if these are titanium. I'm guessing they are. They might be aluminum, maybe, but anyways, rock solid lockup. I mean, just absolute bank vault. Love to see it. And while it is that rock solid, it is just complete fall shut. Very smooth. Like I said, great ergonomics, great blade shape, just a great knife overall. The only nitpicks I can really give it, plunge grind, you know, it does the kind of the same thing the BULLDOG does. Like I said, you're going to get a few sharpenings out of it, no problem. So I'm not going to complain about that. The clip could be inset like the BULLDOG was, where, you know, you can drop it in where it's nice and flush and flat right there instead of having that little ridge. I would have preferred that, but that's very minimal. I love that they use removable thumb studs, because that does make it easier for fixed angle knife sharpeners to clamp it in their system. But yeah, this is a cool one. I really like this one. Now, this next one, This is a banger. I'm like just getting this one in hand. The second I open it, I was like, oh, this is something special. I already knew it, and this thing is amazing. Now, back in the day, Kizer had a knife called the Guru. I thought that this was the new version of the Guru because it looks very similar to the Guru. Now, the Guru had a couple things about it. One, it was thicker in the handle. The handle was thick. And two, the grind was thick. Very robust, almost too thick for its own good. This is a deep hollow grind, very slicey with a harpoon sheep's foot. Very different. And it is designed by Gecko Knives. And this is the CREST, the Kizer CREST, an S35VN designed by Gecko Knives, which I do like his work. Good access to the lock bar, nice chamfer. This thing is luxuriously smooth. Has a nice sound. Yeah, just so smooth. Thumb studs, very well placed. The detent is so perfectly tuned for all the deployments, every single one of them. Now, again, like I was talking about the Guru, this is much slimmer than the Guru. Like very, very slim in the hand. That's one thing you notice right away, but it's still comfortable. The way they did the clip where they mounted it back here, but they put this chamfer going up, it makes it to where you don't have any hot spots or anything like that. Feels really good. I can technically choke up if I need to. Jimping, yeah, it works. It's not bad jimping. Could be a little sharper, but they're fine. Sharpen tone plunge grind's good. They stop the plunge grind right there, so you have plenty of life to sharpen off, as long as it's not hitting a stop pin, which it's not. Internal stop pin, my favorite way. Very solid lockup. The holes in it definitely create some weight relieving. We have a titanium backspacer and milled pocket clip. Now, here's my biggest complaint about this guy now, because I like this a lot, like a lot, but I do not like the clip. The clip is just too short. So for titanium to be this short, you really need to make this thin, and that's just a little too thick. So it makes it where it is tight. And when you put it right on top of the lock bar relief, you want to put this lock bar relief on the inside so that it lands on a flat area and it's not going to hang up. Mine, I've noticed I can kind of turn it when I'm putting it in and it goes in better. But it is something that is a little annoying to me. It's not like the worst, but it's also not good. I would say it's leaning towards not great. So, you know, it is what it is. I do love the knife so much, and this is where you come into a pickle, right? Because it's like you can love a knife so much, but then that one thing will keep it out of your pocket. I'm not sure if this would keep it out of my pocket. I probably would just make sure I'm wearing my regular Levi jeans so I don't have thick pockets and things like that if I carried it. Because then in that case, it's not going to be as bad. But if it started chewing my pants up, then I would have a problem. Other than that, that's really the only negative. TA hardware all the way around. Love to see it. And just, man, just a phenomenal knife aside from that damn clip. Next, we have a clip point buoy. And this one is in AEBL. That's the first time I've ever seen them use AEBL. This is an extremely tough steel. If you don't know about AEBL, 14C28N comes from AEBL. AEBL was originally made for razors, and it is an extremely tough steel, great corrosion resistance, and it has okay edge retention. Like, it's not the most edge retention steel. I like 14C in that regard a lot better than the AEBL. But as far as fixed blades go, tough knives, hard use knives, and things like that, this is perfect because AEBL, like I said, is so damn tough and it has great edge stability. So you can have a nice slicey edge while also being tough on it and not have to worry as much about it chipping and getting microchips and things like that. Not that it can't happen or anything, just depending on what you're doing. But, you know, you got a lot better chance that AEBL is going to hold up over a lot of other steels, and it's stainless. And it's like almost as tough as 3V. The handle, very comfortable. G10 scales. You have jimping back here. You got a little tool back there. URSA Major is the name, the URSA Major. It is robust, I will say that, but man, very comfortable. Nice sheath. No rattle, no tap. Great push-off point right there. Tech lock. You can spin it around any direction you want. Yeah, this is a pretty cool one. I don't really have negatives aside from, you know, I wish that this was like a finger choil so I could choke up right there. The choil is actually fine. The plunge grind, you could, yeah, it's okay. But, you know, I guess it doesn't matter because I can choke up right there. So I'm going to take that back. Take that back for sure. Yeah, I don't really have many negatives. I mean, it's a little robust for the size, but I mean, a lot of people are looking for something robust in this size. Then the last one is a little sticker. So it's a little sticker, and it is called the KWAIKEN in D2. So we have orange G10 scales on this one, and we have a straight back blade. Now it does kind of curve up just a little bit, you know, for poking and stuff, so that the tip is going towards whatever you're going after, but it is a very straightforward knife, and it is like a straight back blade. So you can get to the tip just fine, and you can use the belly, but this isn't really a daily user style knife. This to me is more of a self-defense knife, because it's just, with this narrow of a knife, unless if it's very thin and slicey and a hollow grind and stuff like that, it's typically not going to be very slicey. This is going to be more for poking. Has a very durable tip, durable spine, not something you're going to want to slice with it. Could you use it for, you know, a cut to open? Of course. You know, it's still sharp. It still has a tip. You're still going to be able to use it, but it's just, it's, in my opinion, not aiming towards that. And I think in that case, you could get a lot better stuff out there rather than, you know, this, if you're looking for a user, something, you know, that you can use for daily EDC tasks. All right. I know these get a lot of inspiration from Japanese culture, you know, with their knives and swords and stuff like that. So, you know, that's obviously pretty cool. But as far as my favorite ones, it would definitely be between these two on the list right here. These two are definitely my favorites of the list. And yeah, there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Till next time. Peace.